Hey guys, welcome back. In today's Yin Yoga class, we will be targeting our shoulders and hips. So before we begin, make sure you have either 2 blankets or towels, 2 blocks, books, or cushions, a bolster or more cushions, and a strap. If you don't have a strap, that's okay. You can use a small towel or one of your blankets. So let's find a comfortable seat. Bring a blanket underneath your hips to elevate them. And you want to sit at the very edge of the blanket to allow your hips to tilt forward and give you a little more space. Rest your hands on your knees or thighs, close your eyes, and relax the shoulders down. Start coming into your breath. And let's take a few moments to relax, to find stillness, and to understand the value and importance of this practice. We will be using our breath as our focus into the present moment. So if you find your mind wandering around, just come back to the present, follow the breath. Allow the experience offered in each pose and let go of any expectations or results. In your next breath in, make it a deep one, inhaling in all the way to the top. Hold, take another sip of air, and then gently open mouth, let it go. Release all the air out. Do that 2 more times. Inhale in. Hold at the top. Take another sip of air. Open mouth, let it go. One last breath. Make it a deep one. Inhale in. Hold. Take another sip of air. Maybe another one. And then open mouth, let it go. Come back to the natural flow of your breath. And then gently flicker your eyes open. We're going to start in child's pose today. So you're going to be needing 2 blankets and a block. We're going to place our first blanket underneath our shins for support. We're going to use the second blanket to place it in between our legs. So bring the toes to touch, your hips to heels. If you have space in between your hips and your heels, you can bring that blanket in between your legs to create a little support. And then gently start walking your hands forward, allowing the chest to drop down. And you can bring a block or a blanket underneath your forehead here, allowing the forehead to rest on the very edge of the block. Find your breath. And start settling in. In child's pose, we gently stretch our spine. We're stretching our hips, our shoulders.
And as we find stillness in this pose, remember the 3 principles of Yin Yoga. First principle, to find your edge. Find that first zone of discomfort, trying not to push the body as deep as it can go, but just to that very first edge. And then moving into our second principle to find stillness. Remember, when your physical body is still, your breath slows down, and your mind slows down. And our very last principle is to find and hold for time. But you have nothing to worry about, because I will be guiding you through. Allow your hips to relax down towards the heels. If your head is resting on a block, you'll find a little pressure on your third eye. As we find that pressure on our forehead, our third eye, we're releasing tension, relieving anxiety, releasing stress. Try not to fidget. Find your stillness. Find your present moment. Gently take a deep breath in. Sigh, exhale. On your inhale, gently lift your head up from your blanket or block. Pressing your hands on the mat, walk them back towards your knees. Coming up, slowly, mindfully, one vertebrae at a time. And then just sit here in this kneeling pose for a few breaths. Close your eyes. Allow the shoulders to rest down.
Feel the release in your shoulders, in your hips, and in your spine. Take one more breath, inhale. Exhale. Flicker your eyes open. Now let's move into Anahastasana or puppy pose. So remove the blankets and blocks to the sides. We're going to use our bolster here. If you don't have a bolster, again, you can use a cushion or blankets. And we're going to place it across our mat in front of us. And then we're going to place our hands in front of the bolster or blankets. We're going to make sure that our hips are in line with our knees. And we're going to gently walk our hands forward and allow the chest to drop down onto the bolster. If you are very flexible and don't need a bolster, then you can set it aside. And you can just walk your hands forward and allow the chest to drop down, forehead down to the mat. If you have more flexibility in your neck, then you can bring your chin onto the mat. Your toes can be curled under or untucked. It's up to you. Find your breath. We are stretching our spine. It's a little back bend for the upper and mid spine. We're stretching our shoulders. And we're stimulating the meridian lines that run through our arms and into our lung and heart. Allowing the flow of energy to flow in the right direction. Releasing any blockages. Try and find stillness. Allow your body to reach the connective tissues, deep in the muscle and around your joints and the shoulders. Try to find stillness, and if your mind wanders, come back to your breath. Try and relax your legs and feet. Relax the chest, allow it to drop down towards the mat or into the bolster or blanket. And remember that feeling uncomfortable is okay. But if you find that you're feeling pain anywhere, gently retract, adjust, and come back to your breath.
It takes about 90 seconds to reach the connective tissues. So find your stillness, find your breath, and surrender into the pose, honoring the feelings arising. Gently take a deep breath in. Sigh, exhale. And as you lift your head up slightly, walk your hands back towards your knees, but allow the hips to drop down into the heels and come into a child's pose. This time, allow the arms to come all the way back. And allow your shoulders to rest here for a moment. Your knees can remain wide or close together. It's up to you. Find your breath and feel the release in your shoulders and arms, in your back and your spine. Maybe sway your hips from side to side, allowing the flow of energy and blood to move into the chest and breast tissues. And then gently make your way back to center. Bring your hands and arms back in front of you. And gently walk your hands towards your knees, lifting yourself up. Taking a moment to breathe in kneeling pose. One more breath here. Wonderful. Let's move into half shoelace pose. So I'm going to turn around to face you. Place a blanket underneath your hips, just like we did at the beginning. You can fold it. I like to fold it twice. And again, you can use your towel. And sit on the very edge of your blanket. And extend your legs in front of you. Bend the right knee into your chest and bring the right foot on the outside of the left leg and allow the right knee to drop down on top of the left knee. So you want your knees to stack. If this is not an option for you, that's okay. If your knee is a little bit lifted and you have a blanket or block close to you, you can place some support there. Just know that at any point that you need, you can find support with your blankets and your props. So bringing the knees to stack one on top of the other. Again, find support if you need it. You can also bring a blanket, roll it up, and bring it underneath your knee to support the knee here. We will be stretching it. And then we're gonna use our strap. So again, if you don't have a strap, that's okay. And I'm gonna turn around to show you how it's gonna look. So with your left leg extended, your right knee on top of the left, lift your right hand up, holding the strap.
Bend the right elbow and bring the left hand to your low back. Bend the elbow and grab the other end of the strap. Now we don't want to be pulling or pushing here. We just want to rest. This is to stretch our shoulder, but we do want to have something to hold on to. So find your strap, find your small towel, and again, bring your right knee on top of the left. Grab your strap or small towel with your right hand. Lift your right hand up, bend the right elbow, and then your left hand comes to your low back, bending the left elbow and finding the strap on the back. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, close your eyes. We're going to hold here for not as long as we have been in the last few poses, so don't worry. I know this is a little more uncomfortable. And just close your eyes, relax the shoulders down away from the ears, and find your breath. We're stretching the back of our extended leg, our hips, shoulders, maybe even your right tricep. So as you breathe, send oxygen into your hips, your legs, your shoulders. Stay in the present moment. Stay with your breath. Stay in the zone of uncomfortable. This is where we grow. This is where we heal. Remember, wherever the breath goes, the mind follows. So try to keep a steady breath in and out through your nose. And gently take a deep breath in. Sigh, exhale. And very gently let go of the strap, let it fall. Release your arms out, and then give yourself a big hug. And then release. Open your arms out wide and give yourself another hug. Maybe switch your arms. The one that was on top goes to the bottom. And then gently release. Lean back with your fingers pointing forward. Unwind your legs and remove the props. And gently windshield wipe your legs from side to side, finding the release in your hips, in your legs. Breathing as you move, moving slowly and mindfully. Take one more breath here. And as you exhale, come back to center. Let's move on to the other side. So extend your legs out. Shake them off a little bit if you like. And then gently bend the left knee into your chest. Bring the left foot outside the right leg. And then allow the left knee to drop down and stack on top of the right. If you use a blanket underneath your knee on the other side, use it on this side. If you used it to prop yourself up, if you had some space in between your legs, do so as well. And then grab your strap. Bring your left arm up. And then bend the left elbow. Right hand to the base of your spine, bending the right elbow and grabbing the other end of the strap. Let me put my timer on. Close your eyes. And gently come into the present moment, come into your breath. Relax your legs. Notice the difference between this side and the other side. Maybe one side's a little more flexible, one side's a little more tight. That's okay. Find stillness. If your mind wanders, come back into your breath and follow the breath as it goes in through your nose, down your spine all the way to the base, and then back up and out the nose. Try to release any tension you might be holding in your legs, in your hips, in your arms, shoulders, even in your hands. Remember that being uncomfortable is good, it makes us grow and heal and transform. Take a deep breath in. Sigh, exhale. And gently release the strap. Open your arms out wide and then give yourself a squeeze. Release your arms back out. And then gently give yourself another big hug. Change your arms, reverse them. And then gently release. Lean back with your fingers pointing forward, removing any props to the sides. Close your eyes and allow your hips to drop to the right and left. As you find the energy release in the hips, legs, arms, and shoulders. Take one more deep breath in here. And as you exhale, come back to center. So we're going to move into reclined butterfly. So release the blankets and props to the side. And grab your blocks or pillows. We're going to use these to open our heart. So place one block vertically and one block horizontally on top. We want the block that's vertical to be right in between our shoulder blades. For the ladies, that's where your bra line begins. And then the second block will be for our head to rest. Now, if you don't need that, that is okay. You can keep it out. And if you're using blankets or books instead of the blocks, you can roll your blanket and into a way where it sits in between your shoulder blades. Now, gently bring the soles of the feet to touch. I said this in my last video. If you're new, we don't want the heels to be close to our pelvis, but rather away from it. And you can still elevate your hips if you like, but we are going to fold down, so it's not really necessary. Gently, with your heels together, you can support your ankles if you like, bringing a blanket on top of them, reaching your hands underneath your legs, grabbing the corners of the blanket and pulling them towards you to support the ankles. And then lean back with your hands, gently coming onto your forearms, and then resting on the blocks, making sure that the first block is in between your shoulder blades and that there's a block to support your head. Close your eyes and find your breath. Bring your palms up, allow them to rest next to you. Allow the knees to relax, the hips to relax. Feel your chest open. Allow the shoulder blades to melt down into the block, into your blanket. We're targeting our hips here. We hold so much stress and emotion in our hips. So as you breathe in fresh, new oxygen into the hips. And then release any tension or stress as you exhale. Targeting the meridian lines that run along our legs and into our gallbladder. Find stillness. Allow your body to melt completely into this pose. Lifting your heart. Come into the present moment as you breathe. If your mind wanders, come back to the breath. Allow the breath to be your focus. There's nothing else to worry about. So inhale and exhale. Relax your legs. Take a deep breath in. Sigh, exhale. And gently with both hands, very slowly, close your knees together and turn to your right or left. Coming into a fetal pose. And stay here for a few breaths. Take another breath in. Sigh, exhale. And then gently remove the blocks or blankets from behind you. And roll over back to your mat and into your back. Bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a squeeze. And then gently release your tailbone down to the mat. Let's do that 2 more times as you inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, tailbone to the mat. Lengthen it out. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, tailbone lengthens. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Now gently drop your knees back down. Extend your legs. Let's move into supine twist. So grab your bolster or blankets. Place them on the right side. And we did this last week too, but this time we're going to do a little bit different. So bend your knees. Bring them into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And gently as you exhale, drop both knees together, either onto the bolster, onto the mat. Now you might find that you have a big gap in between your legs. You're welcome to bring a blanket in between. And let your knees drop down. Open your arms out wide. Eye gaze to the left. Find your breath. Supine twist allows us to release toxins, to aid the organs of digestion in doing their job. It restores the parasympathetic nervous system. It helps cure gastritis. So feel your spine twisting. Picture your spine as a wet towel, and as you twist here, imagine the towel releasing all the water, all the toxins from the spine. Allow the shoulder blades to melt into the mat. Find your breath and allow it to be natural and organic. Flowing in and out of your body.
Allow your breath to be your guide into the present moment. Allow your spine to twist. Give yourself permission to take care of you. Gently take a deep breath in. Sigh, exhale. And come back to center, removing any props, moving very slowly. Bring your hands to your knees or shins. Squeeze them into your chest. And then bringing your hands in between your knees, reach for the outsides of your feet, lifting the heels up to the sky. Find a little bit of movement from side to side. Moving slowly in this happy baby pose. Maybe bending one knee, then the other. Finding release in your spine. Gently releasing back to center. And dropping your feet on the mat. Bring your bolster to the other side. Grab your blanket if you placed it in between your legs. Bring your knees into your chest. And then gently guide your knees all the way to the left, opening your arms out wide. Close your eyes. And find your breath. Feel the difference between this side and the other side. Picture your spine as a wet towel once again. And as you're twisted in this supine twist, feel that towel releasing all the water out.
your mind wanders, come back to your breath. And allow your shoulders to melt into the mat. Follow the breath as it goes in through the nose and out through the nose. Relax your legs. Relax your arms. Gently take a deep breath in. Sigh, exhale. Very softly release back to center, removing any props and setting them aside. Bringing your hands to your shins and giving yourself a squeeze in. Allowing the tailbone to drop down and then bringing the knees back into the chest as you inhale. Exhale, drop the tailbone down. Inhale, knees to chest. Gently release. One leg at a time. Extend your legs. Let's move into Shavasana. So you can bring a blanket underneath your knees, maybe one underneath your head, and maybe you can even cover yourself up with another blanket. And allow your palms to flare up. Close your eyes, relax your legs, toes out, and come back into your breath. Allow the body to melt away into the mat, releasing any tension left in the body. Maybe scan your body from head to toes, releasing any tension left in your head, shoulders, your hips, legs, feet. And just find your present moment. Find your breath. Notice what the present feels like here, like for you here. Notice the temperature of the air around you. Notice the sounds near, the sounds that are further away. Surrender completely onto your mat. And again, you're welcome to stay here as long as you want, as long as you need. It's been a pleasure guiding you once again through this yin yoga practice. The light in me honors and respects the light of each and every one of you. Namaste.